Welcome to J&TRE Review Everything Live.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Trev. Oh boy, you guys. Man, we had such a thing going here. We were gonna play some games here live with you, maybe even DuckTales. But the fates have decided that you don't get that today, I guess. My computer is a heap. We've talked about this before, particularly the computer we use for broadcasting a live show. So maybe looking to make a change here.
An audio source and composing the scene.
Looking to make a change here, hopefully soon.
I hope that gives you guys a general idea of the streaming process.
So if you're here in the chat, give us a shout out.
Give us a little shout out. Let us know you're here. What are we on now? Week 20?
20.
Week 20.
From the 20s.
Wow. Pretty soon, J&TRE Review Everything Live will be out there going on a bar crawl for its very first time, trying to, go out and enjoy the nightlife. It'll be something else. But we got a few things to talk about tonight. First thing, let's talk about J&TRE Review Everything. Episode 3 released last week. Again, a little late. Having a lot of computer problems lately.
Oh yeah.
You gotta make do where you can, fellas. Make do where you can.
Yeah, we got the new episode up. Apparently, one of the interesting things about that is, we got the episode up. That's the interesting thing about it. Would be nice to know what you guys thought about it. I mean, I would have to say it was the most labor-intensive episode so far. Mm-hmm. We put more work into it as usual, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're video game characters in it, and unlike being able to just capture everything, every little movement, every little punctuation, we had to animate everything. Me and Jake tried to make a little game of it. You may have noticed that we have a habit of agreeing with each other on a fairly regular basis. And something that we tried to do is every time one of us was talking and then the other one wanted to agree and support the argument and say, yep, or mm-hmm.
Then we'd have them stick their arm out. Yep. I agree. Yes,
sir.
So I don't think we actually counted them, but if you see the episode,
See how many times we gesture at each other to show our agreement.
Yep.
It's moving on here at J&TRE Review Everything, trying to think outside the box, trying to do some new things. What we're hoping to do specifically here, to not be vague, we're going to play DuckTales, maybe some GTA.
Yeah, one of the gags we were going to do is GTA 5 just came out, and I have a copy of GTA 1 for the PlayStation, known as Grand Theft Auto, not GTA 1.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, and, if you're a fan of the modern game, the original game is... some of the mechanics are the same. I believe when you were playing it earlier, you correctly pointed out that the shooting lock-on is just as full of shit as in the modern game.
I see. Neither of us have really gotten a chance to play 5 because we're broke, as usual.
We're broke, so.
Hey, if anybody's out there's got, an extra copy, I know apparently... my video game guy, I'm sure I brought this up on the show before, but my video game guy had gone to GameStop and somebody had, 2 days after the game came out, went in and traded it in for $21. Are you kidding me?
Could it have been that bad?
Well, I imagine, the weird thing is...
play it.
Here's the thing, and it's hard for me to imagine just because I collect video games. I have been collecting video games my entire life. It's nice to have... games, even if you play through it and beat it, someday you might want to go back to it. There's plenty of games that I just go to over and over again, and even if you had finished the entire game, if there's any comparison point, 4 took forever to get the last island. In fact, I had played it for so long that when I believe Borderlands came out, I still hadn't finished it, and I just started playing Borderlands. I kind of lost track of it. If I ever go back to 4 again, which I still have, I would probably just, it would probably take a long time to get back to the point where I was. But 2 days, I don't know if that's nearly, if you're just sitting there.
Right.
Like, you might be able to get through it in 2 days if you're just doing the missions. I guess I did a lot of the side stuff, and in 4 you had a lot of like the friendship relationship stuff where you'd have to go out and like shoot darts and.
Oh my god! Like, you know, I mean, if you want to have cool things like being able to call little Jacob up on your cell phone and have him show up with a trunk full of guns for you, you got to put in all that extra work, and it's like, you know, and Roman's the worst. Like, come on, cousin, come out party time, have a titty breath.
Yeah, it was a little annoying. But, $21. You paid $60 for a brand new game, you're returning it in for $21. I feel like the game would be worth more if you just held on to it. I mean, the even resale value for any of the old GTA games isn't that high because they sold so many copies and because so many people had them. Mm-hmm. But right off the gate, 2 days later,
yeah, sell it to a friend for $40 or something.
Yeah,
at least, you know, they're getting a deal and you're getting some money back.
My point being, if you played it and you're one of the people that sell your shit back to GameStop or whatever right away, just send it to us. We'll play it.
Yeah, give it to these guys.
We'll get some value out of it. Yeah. Jamie Ganzel says, best episode yet. Love the animated version of you guys. Hilarious. Yes, thank you.
We're cute little pixel guys. It's true. It can be described as such.
Yeah, we got I was thinking about possibly putting up the sprites. Maybe like if you're not familiar with video games, like old video games, they have sprite sheets. It's for the programming in the game to be like, oh, this is what the character looks like when they're moving. It's different points of animation, and it would be nice to put up like a sprite sheet for you guys of all the assets that we used in the episode. Mm-hmm. Could be kind of neat. So that's something we might think about doing.
And you know, I mean, really, what's really great about the new episode is we learned a lot of new techniques, learned some hard lessons. Like, for example, if you are going to start out with something that's relatively small, don't do it. Don't start out with something that's very small.
Well, in the editing program, I mean, you know, you guys probably aren't, you know.
Right. I mean, you guys aren't making a show, so I mean.
But we actually did. We you know, like I'll tell you the secret of the pixelated stuff.
Get in on this, guys. He's telling out the secrets.
I used MS Paint because you can actually go down to the pixel size and do that. So I literally made pixel-sized characters. The only problem is that when you blow them up for an editing program, it actually fuzzies them to oblivion because it sees those pixels as, oh, you're making, like, if you take. It's kind of like the same thing that happens in MS Paint. If you make something really small and then make it big again, you lose all. You lose definition. You lose all definition.
Right.
It just pixelates the shit out of it. So it overcompensates by doing that. So we actually had to take those into a picture editing program and blow them up to the appropriate size so then we could use them in the episode. But we got some flicker problems. We had all sorts of stuff. I mean, neither of us are really animators. So, you know, it wasn't done in any sort of fancy way. In fact, I'm sure professional animators would probably look at us and be like, we don't even do this for storyboarding.
Like, what are you guys doing? This is silly.
But overall, you know, we worked out most of the kinks, and I think it came out pretty well for the episode. So.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it's nice to have Rhinus back.
Yeah, you know.
DVD producer, our friend, our associate, the Rhinus.
Oh, yeah.
Black shirt
for anybody that saw the season finale.
Ooh, look at me. I'm kind of looking like I might be able to do some beer reviews here.
You're not the
only one with black shirts, Rhinus. I got black shirts.
Yeah, Rhinus, speaking of which, if you haven't been over to Black Shirt Beer Review on YouTube, he's got all sorts of stuff coming up here. If you've seen
a deluge,
he's on the Facebook page. He was talking about having so many. It's funny because in the same post, he was like, "Oh, well, I have a whole backlog of videos that I have to put up," and then in the same post, he was like, "Oh, but who wants to do a beer review with me?" So it was kind of like, okay, well, you know, you're guaranteed to get some videos out of Black Shirt Beer Review. He updates far. Yeah, I mean, we do a bi-weekly show and we do the weekly live show, but as far as overall quantity of videos, which, you know, doesn't say anything about quality. Quality is excellent. He does a good review. But if you're looking for one after the other, you need something to little bite-sized videos. He's got a whole bunch of quickies that he's put up and stuff like that. So check that out. Black Shirt Beer Review on YouTube. Definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, and as I understand it here, he actually has some a bit of an exclusive. He was out in the Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Spelled nothing like it sounds.
Not
if you're not familiar.
It's like salt. I don't know. Anyway, Sault Salt. But the point is, he's kind of coming up in the beer reviewing world. We're so proud of him.
Oh yeah,
so proud
absolutely.
of him. And if your J&TRE fix cannot be satisfied with a live show, cannot be satisfied with the regular show every 2 weeks, I got great news. We're on that show. We're on Rhinus' show all the time.
Constantly.
Like every few episodes, one of us is going to be on there.
There's actually an unreleased episode. I won't say anything more about it, but
oh yeah, we don't want to spoil too many surprises.
But True going to make an appearance in that too. So
yeah, actually, isn't that the first Black Shirt Beer review that we appear on together?
No, I think we did another one together.
Did we do a quickie? Must have done a quickie. Yeah.
No. I think we did a full episode.
No. I know I did a full episode, and I know you did a full episode.
Yeah. We might have traded off.
But no, so
But
if you can't get enough of your J&TRE fix, there it is. Also, can't get enough of your J&TRE fixes. Well, I got even better news. Tom Marriott of the UK of Minority Report Reviews recently put out a 2-part episode focusing on the game Deadly Premonition. Now, I kind of missed out on a couple of generations of video games. I didn't have a PlayStation, didn't have an N64, didn't have a PlayStation 2 or a Dreamcast or an Xbox. Then I got an Xbox 360, and I still missed out on a lot of great games, including things like Deadly Premonition. But apparently, it's right up our alley.
Oh yeah. Well, the weird story about Deadly Premonition is it's a very polarizing game. I mean, if you want to know more about it, Tom covers.
Yeah, Tom can tell you all about it.
In a brief word, it's kind of like Silent Hill, but it's more based on Twin Peaks. So it's very interesting. In that way, apparently it's a very large game, and but it's got that weird Japanese kind of pastiche over the whole thing. So it's overall it's very interesting game, to say the least, and it may be considered. Some people consider it hackneyed, bad acting, or some of the mechanics or whatever. But
I think it seems like something I'm kind of interested in.
It's a cult classic. There's a lot of movies that have achieved cult classic status because of one thing or another. Troll 2 comes to mind. If you haven't seen that, I mean, watch Troll 2. But it's more of one of those things where you play not because it's your Halos or your Mass Effects or whatever, but because it's quirky and fun. So, that's, if I had to review it, I'd do that. But I gotta say, Tom he did 2 videos. He did a 2-part.
He reviewed the shit out of that shit.
Yeah, so he's much more qualified than we to review it.
Right. So, I'd recommend checking out by that. But we have a cameo in that episode. A few different references to the show and so forth.
Oh yeah. Giving us props.
This is a great thing for you, not just for us. For you.
And also, while we're talking about it, Movie Doctor, Patrick Milson does a lot of videos as well. Recently, he put out a review of Beastly. I don't know if you heard about this. Came out a few years ago. It was a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, but for the modern era, for the Twilight tweens, the tweenites.
Oh my God, it's the worst. No,
and he also does a really good job of deconstructing that film as well. So.
Oh yeah, he is the movie doctor. He gives his prognosis. He does the diagnostic and examination of the patient, the whole 9. But yeah, that movie looked really weird off the get-go.
Yeah, Yeah, from the trailers, you kind of get that feeling like, oh, I'm a monster, and you see this dude, and he's just got tattoos all over his face, bald, like, still handsome. And it's like, I'm a monster. And it's like, you're not a monster. You would fit in great in the goth scene.
That's, oddly enough, that reminds me of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episode. The original cartoon. Mm-hmm. There was an episode where there was some kind of phantom character, like Phantom of the Opera, but like of the newsroom or something. I forget exactly what he was the Phantom of. But supposedly he had gotten he had been the victim of some kind of lab accident, and it supposedly had turned him really ugly. And then so he ended up helping the turtles, and then one of them, I seem to think he had gotten like a little bit of water splashed on his face, and where it had splashed on its face, it ran like clean, like there was just regular skin underneath it. And they're like, "Have you ever tried washing your face?" And he's like, I never tried washing my face after the accident where I got chemicals all over it. So he goes over to a wash basin and he washes all this chemical goop off his face, and then he's still a regular looking dude. And it's like, really?
Like, you pulled this whole Phantom of the Opera thing.
Where you're like, this tortured person, to be shunned and to hide away from society, and it turns out you're just an asshole who can't wash his face.
Wow.
So let that be a lesson to you. If you ever think that you've been turned really ugly by a science experiment, or cosmic radiation, or, some kind of magical rite gone awry, give me a old mug of scrub. See how it works for you.
Well, it's, and that just reminds me, like, of, in particular, from the same series, Shredder and also Dr. Doom. And the thing about both those guys is they wear masks, and they have, obviously they're like, oh, I'm hideous or whatever, but in a lot of fan theory, especially for Dr. Doom, they say that, like, for instance, Dr. Doom wears a whole metal mask over his face because he and Reed Richards did some experiment and exploded and messed him up. So he's like, I hate you, Reed Richards. I'm going to menace you forever in the Marvel comics. And
it's sad, really. Like, let it go.
Yeah. But,
let it go.
Well, he's a classic villain. He also has a really tragic backstory, too, so doesn't excuse him from being a dick.
Yeah, isn't his mom's soul in hell or something?
His mom was a gypsy, and Mephisto has it in hell, yeah.
What a jerk.
Yeah, he's a dick. Mephisto's a dick, but he's not like a sad, tragic backstory dick. He's just the devil.
He's the devil.
He's the devil.
Which is kind of a weird kind of thing. Like Marvel Comics just straight up made the devil a character.
Well, they made Death a character too.
Yeah.
They personified plenty of stuff.
That's fair.
But Dr. Doom, according to some fan theories, he only got like a tiny little scar, and he was like, "I'm hideous," and then put on a mask. Same with the Shredder. Apparently, apparently Shredder got, like in the movie, he got scratched by a mouse and was like, I have to wear a mask now. Like, really, dude? Really? I
want to talk to some like psychology or like some doctor, some non-movie doctor about disorders. Like, is that a thing? Like,
there's plenty of like psychological disorders. Like when you look in a mirror and you don't see yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like that kind of shit. So I think it's called dysplasia or something like that. But that was always interesting to me. There's some things in the news, as usual. It's kind of a slow.
Listen, guys, it is. Whew, man, I don't know. I thought that summer was supposed to be a big time for entertainment and so forth.
Yeah.
I guess this is somehow the summer of disappointment in many ways. Well, what do we got here, Jake? Jakey's got a story ready for us, folks.
Fox, the channel Fox, the TV station Fox, is apparently putting out a Commissioner Gordon TV show.
Ooh.
This is from Deadline.com. Let's see. Apparently, the origin stories of Commissioner James Gordon and the villains who make Gotham City famous.
See, Jim Gordon's not really a character that needs an origin story. Because I sort of feel like to require an origin story, you need to really be someone who's exceptional and out of the ordinary, and basically someone who requires an explanation. And, Jim Gordon's a great cop and everything, but, I just don't see it.
Yeah.
He's just a guy. He's a cop with a heart of gold who does the right thing. And do we really need like an origin story to try to explain how a man became a cop but was still a good person?
Well, they, to be fair, they've already put that to Silicon in the Dark Knight trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he starts off as a detective in Batman Begins.
Right, with a corrupt partner who he fucking hates.
And then the commissioner before him gets killed in Dark Knight. And then they're like, congratulations, you're the new commissioner. Because the other guy got killed.
Is that just how it works?
I guess. But, yeah, there's not much. See, but it all depends on the story and stuff. I recently watched a pilot of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show. Also on Fox.
I thought it was ABC.
I don't know, who cares? I think it was ABC. Stations don't matter anymore.
I don't care. I don't know who cares. Okay.
But it's very much... I'm a little conflicted. I'm not going to give away a whole lot. I'm sure it's been out for a while. I saw it on Hulu, so they probably already had it on ABC. But it really did have that kind of... The writing was really good. Because it's Joss Whedon. Apparently Joss and his brother Jed Whedon.
Yep.
They wrote a pretty good episode. There's a lot of the classic jokes. There's a few, ragtag team of S.H.I.E.L.D. people have to get together and do stuff. And the first episode it's kind of weird because they throw a little message in at the end. It's a little heavy-handed, but then again, it's Joss Whedon again.
Are there any superhumans in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
See, I don't want to give too much away about it.
It's the pilot. It's
the pilot. No, as far as I can tell, no. There's a chick that can do kung fu, a lot like Black Widow, like very similar to Black Widow. There's a secret agent guy that's basically like a snarky James Bond.
Uh-huh.
There are basically a brother and sister. I believe it's brother and sister. Don't blame me if I wasn't paying attention on that part. But
Quicksilver, or is it Hawkeye and Quicksilver?
They came off a lot like Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. They came off a lot like that. They were actually like foreign, but they do like technology stuff. They both work on bio stuff.
See, now I remember a while ago
technological stuff. It almost seems like, and you bring up a good point. It almost seems like in the pilot, Joss Whedon wanted certain characters from the Marvel Universe to be part of the S.H.I.E.L.D. thing, but basically had to replace them. In fact, the very first scene in the show is a dude rescuing somebody from a burning building, and the first thing that I thought was that dude was Power Man, Luke Cage.
Yeah.
And I was like, sweet, they're going to have Luke Cage on the show. Spoiler alert, not Luke Cage.
Oh.
It really bummed me out. That's the problem with the property like this. They allude to the Avengers. They actually use a couple very blurry clips in the intro of the pilot episode to explain, like, this is after everything that happened in the Avengers. Technically, it's also after everything that happened in Iron Man 3, because they bring up Extremis again. The movie version of Extremis. What a fucking waste of time.
Like, I'm glad we're a little bit farther away now from when Iron Man was released, and we can bitch a little bit more openly about some of the bullshit.
Extremis just screwed. That was another thing. So many people were upset about the villains in Iron Man 3. But that was one thing that really chapped my ass, is that they used Extremis as this kind of, trailer, teaser, nerd magnet. Like, we're going to do Extremis in this one, and in the comic books, Extremis is this thing. So you're led to believe, they're going to have a very similar storyline in the movie, or use that as a jumping off point for, like the technology's the same, but the story's different. No, completely different thing. It's basically like holding up a sword and being like, this is a gun!
This is a sweet gun I got, right?
Sweet gun, bro. It's not a gun, it's a sword. Don't fucking lie to us. But yeah, they bring up Extremis again. Another recurrent theme in the episode was that the J&TRE, the bad guys from Avengers, apparently left behind a lot of their shit, which makes sense because they, like a bajillion of them got murdered in New York. And apparently the technology they left behind, people are, like, fucking with. as people are wont to do with alien technology.
Yeah, one of those sleds that Black Widow shot down or whatever ended up sliding into an apartment building, and some asshat from a fucking tech college fucking pulled that into his apartment and started taking.
I could sync this up with Siri on my iPhone.
Oh man, if I could load up my personal assistant in there, that would just be the best. But no, actually, it's funny Jake mentioned that. I remember some time ago there was some big advertisement, footage leak that showed the fellow that looked like he could have been Luke Cage. And, I guess I sort of feel like Luke Cage is one of the perfect characters for something like this. Because, he's not a top tier, or even really second tier. Because, let's be frank.
He's a hero for hire. Let's not mince words. He's fucking awesome.
He's a mercenary. But, he's not like a mercenary who would do the job for anyone with the money. It's just that he wants to be paid for being a superhero. And who can blame him? We all can't be... all superheroes can't be, billionaire philanthropist playboys.
That was another thing, because they played up the dude in the episode that wasn't the dude that was in the episode that wasn't Power Man. He part of his plot deal, part of his character was that he was recently laid off and trying to find work and stuff.
It's like they're setting him up to be fucking Power Man.
And that's no, he's not Power Man. But here's a good question for you guys. Do you think there's room in the Marvel movieverse, and I guess now television verse, for a television show? You have so many things. This is the problem that I came across when I watched Smallville. I gotta say, I enjoyed Smallville for what it was. Mm-hmm. But at least in the first...
I'm the villain of this story.
Boing. No, at least in the first 2 seasons, I gave up after that, but in the first 2 seasons I was thinking every episode... Are they going to have a DC character? Is Metallo going to show up? Parasite? Any of the good guys? Oliver Queen going to show up? Is anybody from the DC universe going to show up besides Superman?
Was it season 3 or 4 before another character showed up?
I believe the first one from canon was either... No. Maybe.
Well, I remember...
it's split, and, if you're big into Smallville, I apologize, it's been a while since I've seen the show, but...
Same here.
I believe it was either Aquaman, Kid Flash, Bart Allen, or Supergirl.
Well, I remember
I can't remember which one.
I remember the Aquaman one, and I remember the biggest groaner, eye roll... I had to be brought to the emergency room to try to bring my eyeballs back to the front of my face. Where after him and Aquaman save the day, he says to Clark, I better leave, but we should hang out again sometime. Maybe we could form some kind of junior lifeguard association. JLA. Wah, wah, wah.
Slightly clever. Still kind of a groaner.
Oof.
But, yeah, that always pissed me off. It really did, and in fact, if you've seen Smallville, the first 2 or 3 seasons were all somebody got infected by kryptonite and got powers, even though that never happened ever. Except for Kryptonite Man. He was the guy, he got powers from kryptonite, nobody else did, and then, it's kind of like what they do with the Hulk, where it's all of your villains are going to be gamma irradiated, but...
Or Iron Man, all of your villains will have fucking suits.
Yeah. So it's kind of disappointing, and I felt that sting in S.H.I.E.L.D. in the S.H.I.E.L.D. show, because there were so many times where I really wanted something from the Marvel universe to happen.
Was Maria Hill hanging around anywhere?
Yeah.
But not Sam Jackson.
No. Agent Coulson was in it, though. And I already know...
I feel like that's kind of an elephant in the room.
I called it from the pilot, though, because they basically hand it to you. They're here's the answer why. I shit you not, you have to watch it, because it's just
Okay. Alright. If you don't want to hear me guess and possibly be right about this development with Coulson.
Agent Coulson.
Phil Coulson. Turn your speaker down for the next 30 seconds. Alright? And go. Okay, so is it that he never really died at all, and that perhaps they used a wife model decoy, and hold on, and that the whole thing was a ruse on fucking Fury's part to try to motivate the Avengers into avenging someone.
Well, here's the point where... Here's the point...
Keep it down. We're still talking. Guys, we're still talking about it. Keep it back down.
Here's the point where Joss Whedon basically thought ahead of you, but then took 2 steps back.
Oh.
1 step forward, 2 steps back. Basically, they start off the episode where he's like, yeah, I faked being dead, and it was all a part of trying to get the Avengers back together, because that's how it was supposed to be. And, it worked, because they got back together and saved New York or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then later on, 2 other people, are talking behind his back about it, and they're like, you think you'll ever figure it out? It's probably like Model Decoy. You're probably right about that. Where it's like, he thinks that he faked his death and that...
Oh, that's fucked up. You think you got a life model decoy walking around thinking it's the real Phil Coulson?
Yeah.
That's fucked.
I swear to God, I thought at some point in the pilot, during the finale of the episode, the Act 3, the big deal going on there, that he was going to be injured, and then it'd be like, psh, psh, oh shit,
Right.
But
for those of you who aren't in the know, life model decoys, classic SHIELD spy tactic.
Mostly Nick Fury.
Almost entirely. In fact, one of my favorite life model decoy uses actually happens outside of the normal universe. In Earth X, Captain America and a bunch of people are over in Russia trying to get the help of the Russians.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and Colossus is basically the Tsar of Russia.
Isn't Nightcrawler over there too? No.
I forget what happened to Nightcrawler. I remember what happened to Nightcrawler. Never mind. No.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't want to spoil that because it's a great series.
Yeah, if you haven't read Earth X, good lord.
Earth X,
if you love
Universe X, Paradise X. Paradise X is pretty confusing. I still have to give that a couple more reads before I feel satisfied with it.
I'll explain it to you later.
Oh, look at this guy. He gets it. But so they're over there talking to Colossus and trying to ask for some assistance in dealing with the new Red Skull. And then all of a sudden, Nick Fury comes screaming out of nowhere, like, "No, tan your pinko hide!" And he's going to try to kill Colossus, and Colossus more or less just really easily, dispatches it. And everyone's like, "Nick Fury!" He's like, "Oh no, it's a life model decoy. They just keep coming out of the woodwork every once in a while to try to kill me. It's no big deal."
Yeah. There's just a stockpile,
of android Nick Furies walking around trying to kill communists.
Must stop communist threat.
Except presumably they all think they're really Nick Fury.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Doombots. Life model decoys are the
Doombots are a little different because
Doombots.
most of the Doombots know that they're Doombots.
Yeah, but it happens all the time in the comics where Doctor Doom gets fucking blown up or killed or whatever, but then it's like, oh no, wait, that was just a Doombot.
Yeah, no, they do that a lot too.
Surprise! It wasn't really him.
Whoops! But yeah, I don't know. So here's my verdict on that episode. I enjoyed the pilot for Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Todd Jake Silvis agrees. He also believes that Coulson is an android/clone.
Like I said, they dump it in your lap, right in the middle of the episode. It's like this is a gimme. But then again, the structure of the episode was very interesting because it's one of those things where it kind of I don't want to sit here and pretend like I know everything about TV tropes, but I know everything about TV tropes.
And everything that he doesn't know about TV tropes, I know about TV tropes.
Right. So I think what Joss Whedon...
No, hold on, you're wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
I think what Joss Whedon was trying to do with the episode was setting it up in a way where it was all misdirects. It was like, here's a trope, here's a trope, here's a trope. I'm going to turn that trope on its ear and turn he turned it into another trope.
What?
It's interesting acrobatics.
Is it a double fake?
There's a couple double fakes.
Man.
There was a couple, maybe 3. It was pretty interesting, but overall, it's not really for me the whole ensemble thing. I mean, like I was telling you earlier, I think the ship, they have a mobile B-52 extra tall airplane that they ride around, and it's their mobile base, and it looks a lot like the Firefly,
the Serenity,
or the Serenity,
Okay.
It's Firefly Flex, right?
Yes.
Well, then I guess I'm right.
I was gonna say, hey guys, my favorite Starship captain of all time is Captain Kirk, the captain of the USS Excelsior. I mean, no.
No, it'd be more like saying, Captain Picard of the Galaxy class starship of the USS.
Technically, it'd be like Captain Picard of the USS Yamato, which is the Enterprise's sister ship.
I guess.
Did not know that. Jake didn't know.
No, Jake, the Firefly is the
Here's the thing. I'm the guy who's paying attention during Star Trek. This guy, he's just...
Oh, Star Trek.
Who's Worf? He said to me the other day. He was like...
Who's a Starfleet captain here? Is it me?
It's you. You're the Starfleet captain.
I'm sorry. I'm Starfleet captain.
What are you captain of? Jake?
The USS Jormungand.
Oh, that's a tough sounding ship.
Oh, right. God. It's the World Serpent.
I need you guys to know. I need to know from you guys. Jake has invited me to accept the position of first officer on board the Jormungand. And I'm not sure. I'm thinking about waiting for my own commission from Starfleet. What do you guys think? Should I have my own ship? Should I be Jake's first officer? That's fine.
What do you think?
However, I will point out that if I'm Jake's first officer, then clearly when we get on board our own TARDIS, I'm clearly the Time Lord, and Jake's obviously my companion.
You know what?
Because you know what? I'm not sexist like some Doctor Who's. I also take male companions with me because I'm not romancing all the time. Sometimes I just want a bro to hang out with.
No, I'll make that trade-off. I will do that on this recorded show. I will say that if you are number one on my Galaxy class Federation starship, then I will be your companion.
It's an honor to serve, sir.
It's an honor to travel through time and space with you.
Damn right. Damn right.
We have more news for you, but you're not going to like it. You're not going to like any
hate this
of this news.
You're just gonna hate it.
Where was it? I think it was mostly towards...
I saw, while you're doing that, I'm going to mention a little bit about this. I saw this story just now and then earlier. Apparently, last year, there was a big heist in Canada. Well, what's so valuable in Canada that could qualify as a big heist? Gold? Diamonds? No.
Moose?
Meese?
Mooses?
Mises? No. Maple syrup. There was a great maple syrup heist that robbed the Canadian Strategic Maple Syrup Reserve, which is outrageous that they have such a thing. But it was a multi-million-dollar score. Like millions and millions of dollars worth of maple syrup. It was a lot
of expensive maple syrup. I mean, think about this. If you got a gallon of maple syrup, it would be more than a gallon of gas.
Oh, easily. No, you could, like, as a matter of fact, I in the last year, I've actually purchased a large, like, full gallon jug of maple syrup. Like $40.
$40? Good lord. Yeah, okay, so that justifies the heist.
Fact is that unless you're going out and spending ridiculous amounts of money on your syrup, you're not getting the real deal.
Now,
You're getting that Mrs. Butterfield's bullshit. You're getting that corn syrup with flavoring and color. That's horse trash. Leave that behind. Get on the maple train.
Well, here's my question.
Get some bootleg maple syrup from up north. Sold on the black market.
That's right. Well, that's the thing. Wasn't the postscript to that story they returned it? Like it just they found it or something, or did it just disappear?
I hope not. I hope it's still on the black market.
Apparently, they're making a movie about it.
I'd like to. Yeah, there's a who is it? Jason Segel. Jason Segel's going to do a maple syrup heist comedy movie. Imagine all the wacky hijinks you can get into with stealing gallons of maple syrup.
Working title: Canadian Bacon 2. No, yeah. No, the big thing is that if you guys are interested at all in this, which you won't be, but you're going to have to listen to me anyways if you're watching, so deal with it. Apparently, ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox are all like, wait, our Nielsen ratings aren't working anymore?
What are we going to do, guys?
If you're not familiar with the Nielsen rating, basically, what is it, like 100,000? What is the test group? It's like thousands of people throughout the United States have a box that's attached to their TV, and the box reports what shows they're watching on any given hour or day or whenever. It and basically
when the TV's on, what channel it's on, what they're watching. Yeah.
And it's not, it's a small test group, but basically they try to pick the most middle of the road Americans to be in this thing. But the problem is that, and we've mentioned this a million times before, neither of us have cable. Neither of us have TV, network television, cable, any of that. So we watch stuff online, obviously. We watch stuff on Netflix and Hulu and streaming services and YouTube and everything that you can get through the internets, but not television. And apparently the Nielsen families are doing the same thing, and they just can't keep track of it. And they're just now figuring that out. They're like, I don't know, guys, we gotta figure something out.
I don't know. It's like they're just so big and unwieldy at this point that maybe this is just how long it's taken them to react to conditions of the market. Or maybe this is really the clue that they're just starting to actually get scared of what, non-traditional television is going to mean in the near future,
Well, and that actually segues into the next deal, is that apparently Netflix is taking a big hit here because I believe, hold on.
Comcast?
Oh, wait, was it up there? Yeah, Comcast and Fox. Or no, wait, what? No.
It's your story.
I know, I'm looking for it. Here it is, Fox Comcast. Yeah, Fox and Comcast are working together to start their own streaming service. So they're just splitting it up even more. So now you have Hulu. I know HBO has a streaming service. I'm pretty sure probably, Showtime and all those other big show things are trying to do a streaming service. They're making it harder for us. They're disseminating, and okay, this is the problem because I'm the first to say that I don't like monopolies. Mm-hmm. I feel like you should have a choice. But then at the same time, it's like, okay, so now in order to watch everything, it's almost like we're just going to come to the same conclusion that we did with cable television. Mm-hmm. That it's basically going to be, okay, this cable television, this cable, all these channels, you can pay each whatever. But no, they conglomerate them all together so you can get like Comcast or DirecTV or whatever so you can watch all the stations. And now everybody's streaming it online through Netflix or something. And because, it's a lot easier than keeping up with the schedule. People work off of their own time now. Mm-hmm. People don't have time to, sit around every, Wednesday nights at 10, like, I might have something to do. You don't have to, plug in your VCR anymore. You don't even have to record it anymore. That was the evolution of that. It went from, you have to be in front of the TV at this time or you're going to fucking miss it, to, you have a VHS player, you can record it, to, you have a DVR player, mm-hmm. which will record it for you, to, it's just automatically recorded for you on the internet or on Netflix or Hulu or whatever. When it comes out on Hulu the next day, you don't have to even bother recording it because they just put the recording up for you automatically. Mm-hmm. So, but now that we have Netflix is a huge movies mostly, but they actually got into a lot of TV shows as well. Right. And they conglomerated everything. They worked with everybody and said, I want your thing, And
it was all in one place, and it was all a place where you could have it. And now, after basically everyone initially dismissed Netflix as being nothing to worry about, now...
I would like to laugh at you people in the past. Actually, people right now, too, because they're still trying to catch up.
Well, what's happening is that in every boardroom of any kind of entertainment empire in the world, there's a bunch of people saying, here's what we need to do. We'll wait till our license with Netflix breaks.
And then make our own streaming.
And then we'll just sell our stuff, and then people will spend the same amount of money that they spend at Netflix on us too. Mm-mm. Case in point, and this is actually we're gonna to paraphrase Patton Oswalt, we're gonna take you all the way to the Mordor, and we're gonna take you right back to the Shire now. The last episode of J&TRE Review Everything, the arcade episode. Was a movie by Full Moon Studios. Mm-hmm. And in the episode, we addressed the fact that it is rather easy to find.
Right. And in the place that it was rather easy to find, it was no longer there.
Yes, it has been taken down, and
by the behest
of Full Moon.
Full Moon Features. I think it's called Full Moon Features now.
Right. So we were looking into it, and it turns out that Full Moon has recently launched their own streaming service. So, Jake, let me ask you a question.
Well, I did some research on it.
Oh.
They have their own website. You can get their streaming service. They have over 600 movies.
Wow. All Full Moon Studio features?
Yeah.
Wow. 600 of them, you say?
Yeah. So 600 of them. And we're talking gems like Puppet Master and Arcade, obviously. That's
Puppet Master 4.
Yeah.
And Demon Toys and...
Or I'm sorry, Trancers. They don't even have Trancers on there, which is apparently one of the big Full Moon Studios.
But here's the question. So how much am I going to have to spend to get access to movies from only one movie studio? How much money do they want?
It's one easy payment, $6.99.
Ever?
No, a month.
Oh! Like...
I'm you gotta make your nut somewhere, and I understand what they're trying to do. Obviously, it's all low budget movies and stuff. They're trying to get into the digital realm as well. And in fact, like Evil Bong and some other movies are on Netflix. Like there are Full Moon Studio movies on Netflix.
Listen, guys, nothing is funnier than when a studio tries to take some niche group or activity and then take it and turn it into a horror movie. And there was so little thought.
I haven't seen the movie, but
hey guys, what should we make this movie about? What if it was about an evil boss?
Dude, that's killer!
What do we call it?
Killer.
It is killer.
It's an evil boss.
What are we gonna call it, dude? We'll call it Killer Bong.
That's brilliant.
No, it isn't.
No, it's not. It's not very brilliant. But Full Moon, I like B horror movies. I don't want to bring down the hammer on them. I want to bring down the hammer on the fact that they're charging $6.99, $1 less than Netflix, which has a barrage of different genres.
Huge variety.
Yeah, it's not just horror movies like they're doing. It's horror, action, adventure, drama.
See, that's the thing. There's
TV.
less variety there. There's less genres there. There's less everything there. So the price needs to be commensurately down.
Yeah. And what do you do?
What about $2.99? What about $2.99? I might go for $2.99. $3 a month. Watch a bunch of fucking Full Moon B horror movies. Sure, why not? And you know what else? You're getting more of my money that way than you're ever gonna fucking get this way.
If you watch them straight through, let's see. I'm trying to do the calculations in my head. So if there's 600 titles, and you pay $6.99 a month. I guess if you sat down
and watched them all, which you couldn't possibly be interested in.
Well, if you're factoring in sleep, you could probably watch them all. I want to say roughly in about 2 months, without doing anything else, like just back-to-back movies. So it is a lot of movies, but on the other hand, it's all horror movies, and it's all from one studio. That's tough.
It's a tough sell.
Now, if they had a Lionsgate subscription.
Ooh.
See, I didn't get that.
Lionsgate, I have never seen a movie studio be so hit and miss.
Or wait, no, I'm sorry, Magnet.
Oh, Magnet.
Well, Lionsgate too, but Magnet. Maybe if they were both.
Lionsgate's a real hit or miss studio.
Oh yeah.
Like either it's gangbusters or it's just some fucking. Just get it out there. Just get it out there.
Here's the thing. I have yet to see a bad Magnet movie. In my opinion, I think that every Magnet movie that I've seen has been gangbusters. It's good. Like,
is Time Crimes a Magnet movie?
You suck. I hate you. I hate you so much.
Someday we're gonna review the movie Time Crimes.
And we'll
you will see Jake and I get into a fight.
There won't be any. Oh yeah, I agree with you.
Like no,
it'll be like
you.
No. Ugh. I love it. He hates it.
Hate it. It's the worst.
I love it.
It's so bad.
It's a good movie.
It's terrible.
It's not terrible. It's good. It's a good movie. Ugh. But then again, I have boner for time travel movies, so.
It's true.
And it's literally called Time Crimes. I mean, you know exactly what you're getting into. There were crimes, and it has to do with time travel.
There aren't really, okay.
Oh, there are plenty of crimes! Don't give me that malarkey!
The title of the movie seems to suggest that maybe there's some sort of law and order aspect of it, like there could be some time cops, you know?
Well, Time Cops is different than Time Crimes. Time Cops deal with the time crimes.
Right. So if there are time crimes, shouldn't there be time cops responding to those time crimes?
Not in Time Crimes.
Let me ask you a question. If there are time crimes, are there time victims? Who are the time victims?
There are time victims in Time Crimes.
Yes, it's true. There are time victims in time crimes. So if there's time criminals, presumably then, and time victims, where are the time police? See, that's why the movie sucks. There's no time cops.
Maybe that's in the sequel. Maybe
They're
like, there were so many time crimes in the first Time Crimes that we had to create a time force.
Once upon a time, Jake came home when we lived together, and he was super excited about time crimes. And he sat all of us down to watch it, and we were all just, that's shitty, Jake. That's a terrible movie.
It's a good movie. I was excited.
Do I have a movie like that? Is there a movie I'm really into that you're just like, oh, this is the worst?
Probably.
No.
There's some TV
The
shows.
answer is no, because I have much better taste than Jacob.
Oh.
I'm just going to throw it out there.
Yes.
Just going to say it.
Let's see. Shuri's car could have been pretty epic if it came from Splinter. Says Mirren 38.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if he was already, because there's pre-Giant Rat Splinter, and then there's Giant Rat Splinter. If it was Giant Rat Splinter, he would have fucked his day up.
Oh yeah. My dad says in RE of the captain of the USS Jormungand, he says Captain Janeway of the Galaxy Quest ship. Nice burn. That's a sick burn. That's a sick burn, Dad. First officer looks good on a resume.
Sure does.
Mm-hmm. Admiral Dad reporting for duty. This is the important one. Dad, do not become an admiral of Starfleet.
Oh my God! Don't do it.
Do not do it.
Me and Jake are in the process of developing an expose on the rampant corruption in the upper echelons of Starfleet.
Admirals Unleashed, man. It's every admiral on the show is a dickbag.
They're all just the worst.
Like, even if they're not evil, they're still dicks.
They're either, straight up evil or stupid. That's, almost worse.
Irresponsible.
Completely irresponsible.
But they're an admiral. How the fuck did that happen?
You get, our admirals violating treaties.
Did you trip over something and fall into a bridge, or...
And, I'm going to give credit to J.J. Abrams. Now... I originally had been complaining about how the new Star Trek movie seems to have gone pretty far away.
We watched another viewing of it the other day, and there were a couple things that if you can get past, if you're a Star Trek fan and you can get past all the shittiness of the movie, there are a couple things he got right. I think he got them right on accident.
Right.
I'm not going to give him the credit right out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think there were plenty of things he did on purpose that made it shitty.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not just going to be like, oh, he probably did this on purpose too. Because here's the thing, everything that he did on purpose with the movie, he wrote this thing, he created it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no...
Lens flares? That was him. He wanted them.
He wanted those. If you haven't seen The New Into Darkness, I mean, we'll stay away from the spoilers, but at some point there's an evil admiral.
Mm-hmm. Evil Admiral.
But I think that was just this is going to be a plot point. I don't think that was, let's look back at all of the shows, because obviously they didn't look back at all the shows for anything else. Why would that be the one thing that you pulled from Star Trek? Oh, well, we're going to ignore everything else, but admirals being assholes, we'll put that in the movie.
See,
so it's not an accident.
And
I have to assume
here's a big problem. Is that it is a reimagining, but it's not. Because if it was just a reimagining, then they could have just said, this is the crew of the Starship Enterprise, and this is what's happening. But no, they went to the trouble of having future Spock, or Next Generation age Spock, travel back in time to try to fix something or get away from something. It was an accident, that's right. It was kind of an accident that the time travel happened. And then he's back there, and then his influences happen, and Nero does stuff, and blah, 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 blah. The timeline is changed. So now it's a new Star Trek. So you have excuse for different things to happen.
And then they don't.
But, right? And then...
The same things happen in a different way.
But guess what? Now there are things that are going to be different that don't make sense at all, but would only make sense if it was a full reimagining. Like the Klingons.
Oh, what the... That's not much of a spoiler alert. The design of the Klingons in the new Star Trek Into Darkness is stupid as butts. What did you say the other day? The Blingons?
The Blingons? Oh, credit where credit's due. That's that joke's from Honest Trailers. The Honest Trailers folks, they at the end of their fake trailers.
Right. Dad, I'm not calling you names. Admirals are just assholes, so don't be an admiral. But
don't be an admiral, bro.
You're huge into Klingons. I'm gonna out you right now to the internet because I know that you love the Klingons. So can you tell us, would a Klingon pierce his forehead ridge?
His forehead ridges? Would he have like fucking piercings?
Yeah, like piercings.
Is that something a Klingon does?
Would a Klingon do that?
No. You know what they would say about that? I think a Klingon who would pierce his ridges has no honor.
Oh yeah, and that's like
end of conversation.
If you're a Klingon and you say something doesn't have honor, that's like just fucking
you're
everything.
Done with it. You're done with
it. That's a pretty dirty.
That's
word.
the severe Klingon indictment against something. It has no honor.
You have no honor.
Yeah. But no. So. Yeah, the going back to what I was saying, the Honest Trailers, great show on YouTube.
Oh, yeah,
check it out. They kind of talk and point out a lot of the things that are wrong with.
Oh, we forgot Werewolf Wednesday. Woo!
Wolf Cop.
If you haven't heard us say it already, Wolf Cop.
We're still excited.
I'm trying to keep that. I think we missed one week, but
oh no,
I'm just trying to keep it going
because we have respect for the law.
Yeah,
the
werewolf law.
Mm-hmm. But no, so if you're not checking them out, you should check out Honest Trailers. They do a great job. And they do this thing at the end where they give amusing names to everybody who's in the film, like starring Frowny Face and stuff like that. And when they got to the Klingons, they had that shot of the reveal with the Klingon with all the forehead piercings. Blingons. No, but like, it's so stupid. And the helmets?
Yeah, why would they have helmets either? I have never seen a Klingon helmet.
As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure. And please, Todd Jake Silvis, like, support me on this if I'm right. Isn't like the whole like head of a Klingon like sort of his own like fucking mantle and trophy, like all his ridges, and he's got those fucking flowing ass locks
like
and shit.
All the hair.
They got it all like tied up real nice. Like it's like an honor and like dignity thing. It's like a whole, I'm fucking proud as shit of all this I got going on above my neck, bro.
Yeah.
And
no, Klingons are the only race in anything that can get away with mullets. That's all it is. It's serious Klingon business in the front and serious Klingon business in the back.
Right.
Like that's.
Don Jake Silvis writes, Khan isn't selling Corinthian leather.
Carpathian leather.
I think it means Corinthian, because I do remember
I don't know, it could be Carpathian like Vigo.
It's like it could be like are you giving us like a double or triple reference here?
Is that's clever.
Because I remember Ricardo Montalban.
Vigo.
Ricardo Montalban was in a series of commercials for like some kind of car that had rich Corinthian leather.
Oh, okay.
And he shelled for rich Corinthian leather, which is another way of saying not real leather.
Right.
Rich. But yeah, no. So, and he does say emphatically no to Klingons having pierced their ridges.
They would never do that shit, ever. They wouldn't. And just the way they acted in that one, too, where it was like, I don't get it.
Well, it's kind of neat, because it takes us back into that era
because the Klingons were at war with the Federation.
Right, and they were, they were savage. Supposedly, there was a very clever thing where somebody pointed out that if the Klingons captured them in Star Trek Into Darkness, that they would be interrogated, tortured, and killed. They'd be taken prisoner, interrogated, tortured, and killed. Bullshit! Klingons don't do that because Klingons have honor.
Yeah, Klingons do not take captives. They even say that in Next Gen, like, a bunch of times.
Right.
Like, there's a whole episode devoted to it where Worf finds out that his... somebody's like, oh, your father's on this planet. I think it was the Cardassian?
Romulans.
Oh, yeah, the Romulans. He's on this planet. It's a Romulan POW camp. It turns out his father wasn't there. I'm just going to ruin the whole episode for you. Turns out his father wasn't there. But all these Klingons were still living in this POW camp, and the Romulans had basically grown to, it was like their community. Even though the Klingons were prisoners, everybody got along basically. Mm-hmm. But the big thing was like everyone there's like, don't ever tell anybody that we're still alive. Like, that's our big thing. We started a new community here. We're totally abandoning our Klingon ways because we're basically dead. Mm-hmm. Like, as soon as we got captured, like, we could never re-enter Klingon society because that's, like, major without honor to get captured. Mm-hmm. You might as well just fucking die.
Yeah.
And I think they have, like, a ritual seppuku kind of deal going on.
Well, yeah, they do. And here's the thing. The Klingons will capture you, and they may beat you up and put you in Klingon prison on some prison planet somewhere, like in Star Trek Undiscovered Country, the 6th movie. But they're not going to torture you. You know who tortures people?
The Cardassians.
It's the Cardassians.
They're dicks. I hate those guys.
Okay, so real quick anecdote to wrap up the show here. A friend of ours has Star Trek: The Next Generation, the trading card game, or the deck building game. So it's like this. All you need for the whole game is in this box. You have officers and you have ships, and it's really cool. And there's a mechanic every round where you can search the field of cards, and you can basically just throw it into the discard pile and draw a fresh one to put out in the common field. Okay, and you can do it or not. It kind of behooves you to get access to potentially a new card every turn.
Yeah.
And I started playing away. Every opportunity I get, I would throw a Cardassian off the table. If there was a Cardassian, it's getting out of here. Fuck the Cardassians. Fuck them. Fuck those assholes.
They're jerks.
They're assholes.
If you take anything away from this live episode, the Cardassians are dicks.
Mm-hmm. That was really the lesson all along.
Yeah, from the beginning.
Right.
Like you said, we're going to take you all the way to Mount Doom and then all the way back to the show.
Ooh, Todd Jake Silva's writes, dishonored Klingons might, or thieves.
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta love the Klingons' honor-bound, whole deal.
Oh, yeah.
You know? It's admirable as fuck.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a little misguided in some parts. But
sure, wow, I mean...
But the overall, sheen of... Mm-hmm. Honor, dishonor is very cool.
Absolutely. Alright, so that's about an hour. Sorry for a late start. Join us next week, 10 o'clock. If you're watching this recorded on YouTube...
If you're cool.
I mean, I don't want to, speak for you, and obviously Jake doesn't want to either. If you're not cool, that's... that's fine. I'm not going to judge you.
I will.
He will.
I will.
But if you're cool, you'll join us next week. And that'll be the last one before I am a wedded man. So, single ladies, get your last look at this hot meat pie that's still on the market, because after next week I'm off. So, in any case,
nice.
In any case, for Jake and Trev Review Everything Live, I'm Trev.
I'm Jake.
And thanks for watching.